25th of January 2023. You guessed it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Guys, there's something that stinks really bad with this tank deal that's going on right now, that we're sending now 31 Abrams to Ukraine. Other countries are sending their tanks. If Russia doesn't respond to this, there has to be an under-table deal made with Russia not to respond. Look, we've had the pipeline, the bridge, their airbase hit, all these things, and Russia hasn't responded to it. What did Russia say from the start? Stay out of our business. Do not get in this. If you send this weapon, this weapon, this weapon, it'll get a response. We'll start hitting NATO supply lines, things like that. Well, now all the NATO countries are sending tanks. I'm telling you, some kind of deal has been made here with Russia. Why did it take so long to send tanks, and why are they doing it all of a sudden? I've got two opinions on this. Of course, you know, I just said there has been a deal made with Russia if Russia doesn't respond. The other part of this is, what if we're just getting our equipment into country for when we go in, it's already there? Think about that. It's a logistical nightmare to move all this equipment everywhere. But if you already have it in country, when you're ready to go in, you have it there ready to go. Think about that for a second. Could that be what's going on? Also, the countries that are giving their tanks up, do they have some kind of deal made with the USA that, hey, if we give our tanks, you will replace them with money or your equipment? Guys, I've told you, this is all smoke and mirrors. They know more than we know. Something is going on that we don't know, and I'm having a hard time trying to figure it out, and I'm sure some of y'all are. Something's not right with this. Russia didn't retaliate against the pipeline. They didn't retaliate against the bridge. They didn't really retaliate against the airbase getting hit. They launched a couple missiles a day or two, and then that was it. Guys, there's more to this than we know. I've told you before, they're all in this together. Every government's in this together. It's about money. Money, money, money. That's what it's about. How much does an Abram tank cost? You know, I'm not sure. Let's just say it costs $6 million. Well, now they got another $200 million in our equipment. And they're claiming they're not going to train them in country. Okay? How can Ukraine afford to take soldiers off the front line? Because they're requiring everybody over to stay and fight, right? Every male to stay and fight. How can they take time and take them soldiers out of what they're doing and send them for months of training on this equipment? Yes, months. It takes a while to learn to operate these tanks. It's not something that you can just jump in and take off. You might be able to drive it, but as far as using all the controls, knowing where everything is, because they are trained on Soviet weaponry. That's what they're trained on, not American weaponry. My thoughts is, more than likely, you may think I'm an idiot for this, but more than likely what they're going to do, they're going to train them in country. We're going to have NATO troops in the tanks with one Ukrainian soldier and saying that it's operated by Ukrainians, because there is no way Ukraine can afford to take anybody off the front lines if it's as bad as they're telling us it is over there and send them for months of training. It just can't happen. There's something that stinks really bad with this deal. It's really bad. I've been telling you, I expect us to be in this before the end of the year physically. I've told you also, I believe from the very start of it, we've had CIA and special forces in there. Guys, something is not right with this. Something is very fishy. It always comes down to money. Russia has repeatedly said, don't send this, don't send that, we'll do this, we'll do that. And what have they done every time? They haven't really done nothing. So are deals being made under the table to prevent Russia from retaliating against the country sending this stuff? Is it all smoke and mirrors? You know, what is going on here? Something is not right with this. Guys, you have all these countries. People not even mention Morocco. Morocco was like one of the first countries agreed to send tanks. And then Germany. Then the USA. There's a deal in place with the countries sending these tanks. I'm not sure I'm sure they're getting paid for them. Secondly, are they getting our equipment in replacement for what they're sending? Thirdly, have they reached a deal with Russia? Is that why it took so long to get these tanks in country? Is there an under-table deal that they was able to get these tanks in here, like give Russia a little something? You know, well, we'll back off this or we'll back off that. These are my opinions on this. You may think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, we don't fight wars for, you know, the good reason. We fight over money. That's what we fight. That's what it boils down to. Guys, everybody's saying, well, Russia's weak. They're not doing nothing. You know, they're all talk. You got to stop and think. Maybe a deal has been made with them to make them look weak. You know, what would they care if they're looking weak if they're getting some kind of under the table deal, right? And these other countries all of a sudden agreeing to send tanks. Come on now. There's deals in place that we don't know about. We'll never know about. This is about money. Something's going on. We need to figure out what it is before they do actually get us all involved in this. And what I mean by that, the stuff about the Russian ships all around the United States coast, some of you are concerned about that, but you got to understand they're there a lot. It's not just they're doing it now. They're there a lot. They're there basically every year they come around. It's just crazy. Get prepped up. Something big is coming from this. I don't know. And if nothing does come from this, you know a deal is in place. It's got to be. There has to be a deal in place under the table to prevent Russia from retaliating against countries that have sent these tanks. What's next? Are we going to send F-16s? They've been screaming wanting F-16s over there. Biden said today that tanks are not an offensive weapon. Come on. Do y'all see what's going on? If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button, like or dislike this video, comment on it. I want to hear every one of you's comment that watches this video. You have an opinion on this. I want to hear it. I want to know your thoughts on it. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. You're the only person that can do it. Stay safe. Get prepped up and hit that subscribe button.